Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Highway of Blood, a 1970s Call of Cthulhu scenario from Critical Hit Publishing and run for us by one of the authors, Alex. We'll get into just in a minute here. Well, we'll turn it over to Alex, and you'll get to see all of us playing our characters once again in this episode 3, chapter 3, The Devil's Backbone. If you have missed the first 2 chapters, you have no excuse really, because I know you've been in quarantine and you're looking for stuff to watch. Go over to youtube.com/miniterraindomain. The first 2 episodes are there, and this one will be there in 2 days time after tonight's episode. And then if we all survive tonight, which is a question, remaining episodes will air here and then show up on YouTube. Before we get started, though, a couple of usual announcements that we do here on Mini Terrain Domain. First and foremost is that we at Mini Terrain Domain, we are partnered with an organization, a charity organization called Jasper's Game Day. And I'm going to type code word right in the chat. I typed !! Jasper. There is a direct link to give to the organization. And Dwight, if you can grab the campaign link, I should have put that one in there. You should be able to drop that in. We are just about ready to we're just like less than 4 days away from Jasper's Game Week, a week long, 5 days, 60 hours of D&D games happening right here on twitch.tv/miniterraindomain, starting this Sunday, May 3rd at noon and going until midnight. And then we're going to do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day, all the way through Thursday for 12 hours a day. We've got games from noon to 2, from 2 to 5, 5 to 8, and from 8 to midnight. And we scrounged around and we found a couple of cool people that can run some games. Dwight's going to be running a game, and I believe Carrie's actually going to be playing in that game as well.
I am. It's going to be amazing.
And
I don't know how you're going to top that, man.
Right?
Yeah, no. We're more than just the warm-up band.
Yeah, I mean, there is somebody goes by the name of Christopher Perkins. It's kind of a big deal, I guess, in the D&D world. Yeah, Chris Perkins from Wizards of the Coast, known as the years-long dungeon master for Acquisitions Incorporated, and then again for Dice Camera Action, among numerous other things. I've run some of his adventures here on the channel. On Monday night, I believe it is, Chris Perkins will be running a game from 8 p.m. until midnight right here on the channel. That's just insane. Todd Stashwick, a Hollywood actor, producer, writer, is going to be running a game Sunday night with Anna Prosser, also of Acquisitions Incorporated and Dice Camera Action fame, as well as working with Twitch. And Scooby-Doo Shaggy, Matthew Lillard, is going to be in that game as well. We've got a game run by Sean Merwin, a writer for D&D. Stefan Picorni, the founder of Dwarven Forge, is running a first edition Dungeons and Dragons game on one of the days. Satine Phoenix is running a lead into the Dawnbringers game that is going to cap it off. You'll be able to find myself and M there. That's the only game that I'm running or playing in. And I'm fine with that because I'm going to be behind the scenes for the entire stream producing it. I'll be in the chat cheerleading to get everybody to help us reach our goal. This year, the on-stream goal is $15,000. Last year, during Jasper Stream Week, we managed to raise just shy of $6,000 for the entire week. This year, we are 4 days away from starting the stream, and we have already raised somewhere in the vicinity of $12,000. And that's our pre-stream goal. Our total goal is we're trying to hit around $25,000 to $30,000 for the week. And all of this money, in case you're wondering, all of this money, the reason we're raising the money is to go towards Jasper's Game Day, which is an organization founded on the principle of raising awareness and the elimination of suicide through tabletop gaming. Specifically, what Jasper's does with this money is, aside from the small amount of money that is used to cover credit card fees and those kind of things in the transactions of the donations, every single other cent of that goes to benefit suicide crisis centers. They pay for teen suicide lifelines, phone numbers and hotlines that people can call, and other organizations. They pay for education in schools to educate the educators, actually, to teach the teachers and the administrations of schools how to properly recognize and deal with the aftermath of suicides in many cases, unfortunately, but also to recognize the signs and symptoms. And they have so they fund into a training program that takes care of that stuff. So that's what all of this money is going for, and why we do this, because we're big supporters here of mental health. So be sure to tune in next week for Jasper's Stream Week, Jasper's Game Week. There is going to be a ton of amazing incentives. When you donate at certain levels, you'll have opportunities to pick up some cool things. We have some amazing sponsors that include but are not limited to Idle Champions, Talon and Claw, Wormwood Gaming, Hero Forge, things like that. Lots of great prizes that will, as we reach different dollar amounts, we'll be raffling off right here in the chat. So be sure to tune in at any time next week. Would love to see you in the chat. But as I said, the reason we're doing it is mental health. We are huge advocates of mental health, and things can be tough, especially the way things are now in the world with self-quarantining and social distancing, stay-at-home orders and all of that. And it can be tough. I know. But we want you to know that regardless of where you are, what you're going through, or whether you even believe it or not, you matter. Your existence on this earth makes a difference. But if you're struggling with that and you need somebody to talk to, you can come here to Mini Terrain Domain on Twitch anytime, day or night, and type in !help. And you can do it during the stream. I just did it. And some excellent resources are available to you there. The National Suicide Lifeline is available in the United States or rather at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. If you are active duty military or a veteran, you can press the number 1 after you dial that number and be connected with a specialized counselor willing to talk to you. If you prefer, you can dial 741-741 and send a text message. So you don't have to actually talk to anybody. You can just deal with things through text. If you are among our friends in Canada, you can reach the crisis text line by texting the word connect for English or parler for French to 686-868. Or you can call the Canada Suicide Prevention Service in French or English at 1-833-456-4566. If you are among our friends from around the world, I have put a link in the chat when you type help, or you can just type in to your browser opencounseling.com/suicide-hotlines. And that link will take you to some amazing resources for phone numbers, text lines, and all of that for countries all around the world. So please do not hesitate to use those resources. I believe that pretty much takes care of the usual announcements. I do want to say we are about to delve back into Highway of Blood. This is a Call of Cthulhu horror scenario. This broadcast, this game, and everything you're about to see in here is not intended for younger viewers. This is a mature audience's stream. In fact, if you look right down there, it says rated R. That said, I mean, there's the potential for language and content that would be considered adult in nature. And I also want to make all of our viewers, whether you're watching with us live or watching on YouTube later on, to be aware of the fact that we, as players and Game Master, we have all discussed all of the content that will be taking place in the game. And we have safety tools in place. So everything that is happening within the zones of consent with the necessary safety tools in place. So no need to worry there. I think now I'm done talking, Alex. I'm going to turn it over to you to continue our adventure in the hot deserts of Texas in the 1970s.
All right, excellent. Well, it's it's currently cool at night, but and you're all scattered about. But we're gonna come in first with Janice. Um, Janice, as you sort of become aware of yourself, you find yourself in a titanic cavern lit by some sort of greenish light from above, through a thick yellow haze that makes the light source sort of impossible to determine. Unlike pictures you've seen maybe from National Geographic, there are no stalagmites or stalactites in this place. And the ground is covered with a layer of sort of dense gray sand. There are paving stones beneath your feet that are part of a road that leads to a series of unsettling structures that seem to have been carved from the cave's floor. The architectural style is unlike anything you've seen. The buildings are tall and narrow, with each tapering to a sharp peak at the top. No windows are visible, though obvious doorways are apparent. The largest structure is the size of a cathedral that stands in the far western, the far wall of the cavern. Despite their size, there doesn't appear to be a single seam that suggests that they were probably not constructed out of individual blocks. The central building, which looks to your eyes like a temple of some kind, extends from the back wall, almost splitting the cavern in half. There are two other buildings that flank it. Gathered before the temple would appear to be hundreds of vaguely humanoid reptiles. While they have gangly arms and powerful legs, their lengthy tails and the shape of their heads are more reminiscent of snakes. A few at the edges of the crowd walk erect with sort of a sinuous gait. You can see their scales moving with their flesh, glimmering in this green light. You hear murmured hissing, and a figure steps out into the steps in a long sort of flowing robe, and turns toward you. And at that point, you hear a kind of a dripping, sound of these heavy droplets, and it draws your attention, downward, and you see a pool of blood around your feet. You see protruding a small point of metal from your shoulder, and within this terrible wound, you can see bits of bone exposed and maybe tendon, and it's then that you actually regain consciousness. This dream that you just had, this experience, sort of fading into darkness and being replaced by first a smell of of metal and sewerage. Um, your head's very foggy, as if it's been sort of packed in cotton. Your eyes are crusted, um, and your head is leaning back, and you can feel the muscles in your neck are tense, um, as if you've slept at a bad angle. The next sensation becomes a dull throbbing in your back, and the headache sort of hits too. Um, your head sort of jerks forward suddenly, and you realize you may have bitten your tongue. Um, as the fog clears, you hear music playing, as if from a distance, but it's getting closer. You recognize the song as "Mr. Sandman" by the Chordettes. Bum, 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 bum. And you hear kind of a deeper voice sort of singing along with it, not quite in tune, a little off key, like most people have sung along to some of their favorite songs. Um, but then you hear this sort of loud, sharp noise that brings you to your full senses, and your eyes snap open. You're in a windowless room. The walls and floor are covered with white tiles, giving you the impression of a kitchen or operating room. Humming fluorescent bulbs overhead bathe everything in a dull, callous light. You try to turn your head to look around, but a sudden sharp pain in your back and shoulder make it impossible. You look down, and just as in your dream, you see a tip of metal protruding from your shoulder, um, and you hear kind of creaking as you move, and you kind of glance and see a bit of chain over your shoulder, and you realize you're suspended with a meat hook through your
Oh,
left shoulder at the moment.
oh.
Um, there's also a kind of a dirty glass IV bottle with clear liquid hanging next to you and surgical tubing leading to your right side. Um, you're wearing something like a translucent plastic, um, like a dress, but it's more like a just a bag with a hole cut for your head and arms, more than anything else. Um, your feet are just sort of dangling. You're maybe about a foot off the floor, you think. Uh, Hanging from the ceiling to your right, there's a woman draped in a sheet of plastic similar to yours with a hole cut for her head. She's suspended, sorry, by a steel hook through her back beneath the rib cage. Her face and upper body look badly bruised, but as your eyes glance down, you can see that her legs are missing just below the hips. There's a faint dripping coming from her direction, just like in your dream. The music is coming from an 8-track stereo near the end of a steel cable covered with cutting implements. At the opposite end of this place, there's a roll of butcher paper, twine, bucket of unidentifiable viscera. Uh, in the center of the room, you see 3 steel tables. Two are empty with a few smears of blood, but one has a roughly human shape covered with a white sheet. Well, not quite white. Whistling along to Mr. Sandman is a person with his back to you. He's wearing brown. He's wearing brown pants, suspenders, a very sharply ironed white shirt, and a butcher's apron. He seems to suddenly hear your chains move, and he kind of turns a little, realizing you're awake. And he's got this pipe in his teeth and a big old toothy grin. He looks like someone's kindly old grandfather with his wire rim glasses and blue tie. Um, Even in your sort of half drugged state, you can tell the smile on his face doesn't quite reach his eyes. Behind them on the steel table, you can make out what appear to be a woman's foot, lower leg. Judging by the meat cleaver in his hand, he appears to have been in the process of butchering it. A hand crank sausage grinder to the next to the table, and a long row of links coiled like a serpent on the plate next to it. He says in this beautiful southern voice, "Well, well, well. Finally awake, I see. You gave us quite a scare for a bit." He takes off his glasses and polishes them up. Um, Shame on you. Shame on you. And gives you a wink. Um, so, how you feeling?
Why are you doing this? Let me down.
Oh, well, I can't let you down. This is for a higher purpose, you see.
I won't tell anybody. Just let me go. Let me go.
I I'm not worried of you telling anyone, doll. You just need to relax and uh you know I mean it's a shame you were damaged during the hunt. Those boys have been scolded for what they done, but you you came through a little worse for wear, so I'm afraid it's gonna be the plate for you. Uh,
The what?
you don't have plate. I'm sorry. Was this not clear enough? And he points behind the table of body parts. So we we have our own form of sacrament here. When you eat of their flesh and drink of their blood, thou shalt surely live forever. Sorry, have you not read from the good book?
I think Janice is just staring horrified at this man talking to her, and realizing how dire the circumstances for her. And I think she'd start to maybe like squirm and scream like help. I'm assuming that's gonna hurt a lot because she's dangling.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna hurt. Give me a Constitution check.
So that's still 2d10, like the
Yep, yep,
100 percentile.
percentile. Yep, yep. And you want to roll under your Constitution?
Okay, so I rolled a 36 and my constitution is 70.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
almost a hard success. Yeah, it hurts. You get this blinding pain shooting up your shoulder into your neck. Um, and yeah, but you remain conscious at least. And he says, "Easy, easy. You might pull out my work here." And you feel him adjusting something in your side, the tube, and he's like,
Oh no.
"Yeah, yeah. We don't want you to expire too soon. Uh, well, our refrigeration out here isn't quite what we would have liked, but
You're a monster. Let me down.
oh no, 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 you'll be with your friends soon. It's just a matter of time. Um, maybe I can have the Reverend talk to you before. Well, before. Would you like that? And he has this look of genuine sort of concern on his face.
Yes. I think anything to buy more time is what Janice
Good,
is thinking.
good. Are you hungry?
No. No, I'm not.
Hmm.
Thank you.
He relights his pipe, takes a few puffs, says, "Well, I have some business to attend to, but I'll be back soon. You uh, you just ponder on what I've said." And he walks up a little few little steps, opens a big metal door, closes behind him with a boom.
So are my hands tied? Or
They are not. Um, as as soon as the door closes, um, you uh, you hear a sudden sort of intake of breath from the woman next to you.
I think I look
um,
over at her horrified that she's actually still alive. And
yeah, you can now see she has a similar sort of IV bottle attached to her as well. And she's looking over at you with these sort of pleading eyes that are just insane at this point. She's looking at you saying, they took Jimmy to the caves. I heard him talking. If you see my Jimmy, will you tell him that mommy loves him?
Oh no. We're gonna get out of here. 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 She just keeps saying that over and over again.
And we're going to cut from here back to the sewer, where Wallace and Jack, you had decided to go back back into the sewers to you couldn't just walk away with your friends left behind, friends and family. And so you ended up crawling back into the sewers, moving back into this sludge, this waste, this viscera, things that you don't even want to think about. But Wallace, you're in the lead as you sort of climb back in. It's getting cold too. The air around you is getting colder, but the sewage is still pretty warm.
I'm afraid you were going to say that.
I'm just looking back over my shoulder every few, every 30 seconds or so, just to make sure that Jack is still behind me, trudging along.
I mean, he's has a look of resolve on his face, disgust but resolve, and no listen check necessary for this because Janice had called out the pipe to your the first pipe that you to your, let's see, it would be to your left. You hear Janice screaming. Wallace, you would recognize her voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from down this side pipe.
Okay. I stop in my tracks. Jack, you hear that? That's Janice. And I start heading down that pipe.
All right. The pipe is a little bit smaller. This one's only about 3 feet, and you begin sort of crawling through. Fortunately, the liquid in here isn't as deep either. So, but you're still kind of having to keep your chin up to not get it in the sewage as you begin sort of crawling through the tunnel. Jack, are you following him?
Yeah, I think when he stopped, I probably would have almost run into him if it weren't for the fact that we were trudging through chest deep sewage. With the amount of time that's passed, and the fact that normally Jack keeps his stash in his belt buckle. I mean, it's not enough time necessarily that he's going through any kind of withdrawals or anything, but Jack's defense mechanism is always to pop a pill or light a joint or something. And I think he's just starting. I'm just starting to show those first signs of maybe worriness. Just kind of eyes darting around. And Wallace, I don't know, man. I don't know about any of this, man. Where even are we going? It's just, sounds echo around in here. How do we know she's this way?
It's coming from this way. I know it. I know it.
Crawling through here takes you a little bit of time, maybe 10-15 minutes to sort of crawl through, and you come to one of those grates, like the one that was in your cell, like the one that was in the storage shed. Big heavy iron thing, but it's also a lot closer. You're not quite as deep. In fact, your back's like I said, it's only a 3 foot pipe, so your back is almost against it. Yeah, and so you can hear breathing coming from up there. There's a little bit of light still. There's one fluorescent light still on. You can see as you sort of like roll and look up through the vent, you can make out these fluorescent lights, white tiles, but you can't really see much from where you are.
Okay. Is there any way, like, it's something that I can get through in any way, or?
Well, you know that the other one you guys were able to like eventually sort of lift out.
So it's just like the other ones then, just
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's heavy and it's big, but from where you are, you certainly have a bit more leverage because you can kind of like push like with your back, so you have a little bit of advantage here.
And do I hear anything else coming from in there?
Give me a listen check.
I'm gonna use some luck and make that it's a success.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear one sort of, you can hear breathing. One is sort of slow and ragged, and the other is more a little more panicky. That sort of thing, kind of a quicker breathing.
I kind of just like a loud whisper, Janice, you in there?
Janice, yeah, you hear Wallace's voice coming from the grate on the floor.
Wallace, is that you?
As soon as I hear her voice, I'm like just pushing as hard as I can against that grate.
All right,
like I've stopped all care or trying to be quiet or anything.
Give me a strength roll with a bonus die.
Yeah, I rolled a 95 on my first one, so yeah, I'm good. So no. Well, hold on. So bonus die.
You get to roll 2 10s dice.
2 10s dice.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So if the first one was 95, yeah. What's the second one?
All right, I'm gonna use more luck here because I got down to a 70 on that one, or 75 on that one.
Wow.
So
okay.
So
now keep in mind too that you can also push rolls. I don't know if I mentioned.
Oh
that.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
Let's do that. Okay. Now what's going to happen is you'll be able to, if you fail the push roll,
mm-hmm.
You're probably going to get it jammed in there, so you're not going to be able to get it.
Yeah, I've lost all reason at this point.
Yep. All right.
And I rolled a 64, so we're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So it gets stuck, and you find that you just allow this howl of rage and fear and just all the emotions coming out, and you push and it kind of cracks out, and he thumps off to the right, and you come standing up out of the hole. And you see the about chest level this this floor of white tiles, and you look up and see Janice next to her, a part of a woman, still hanging there swaying, and she looks horrible. I mean, she's covered in blood. Her face is bloody. Her hair is matted with with sweat and blood. Right. It's worst thing you've ever seen. Make a sanity check. Actually, Janice, I forgot you should make a sanity check as well. So we'll take care of yours at the same time.
So sanity check, we roll the percentile and try to get under our sanity.
Under your sanity, yep. And you cannot use luck for this.
Does it mean when I roll all zeros?
That's 100. That's an extreme failure there right there. That's maximum sanity loss.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a 26 on my sanity check, so we're good.
Okay,
Shit's so about to get bad, y'all.
So Janice, you're going to take 1 still.
Okay.
I'm about to go crazy.
Yeah, you're going to take 6, which means you need to make an intelligence check. This is to see. This is kind of a tricky one. You failed it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's actually good.
I do want to fail that. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, yeah. An intelligence check means that if you succeed, it means you thoroughly understand what you're seeing, and it makes it worse. So yeah.
There you go.
You
But
know,
I still
Thank
take
God
6
for
sanity,
small
right?
miracles.
Oh yeah, you still took the 6 sanity for sure, and you but you still have this
Mhm.
this grip of the loss of sanity. What does that look like?
I kind of feel like it's like my head just gets that like rush of blood. I get that pounding in my ears. Things start to go a little woozy on me. Just like what the fuck is going on? Good. And I run over to Janice. And I kind of maybe I like bump into the half woman,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just kind of like freaks me that I kind of stumble into one of the tables, but then I finally make it over to Janice, and I'm just like fumbling around trying to figure out like what's going on with her. But I see this hook in her shoulder, and I'm trying.
Yeah, you see the she's
hurt
hung up like a side of beef, basically.
Oh.
There.
Yeah, so I'm just
right
I'm
through
just
the shoulder.
frantic, but I'm trying not to make things worse.
Get me down, get me down.
Jack. So
I was gonna
Jack,
say that's
your way out is
that's
your way out is
about the
cleared.
point where once Wallace pulls himself up through there, I'm immediately trying to get up out of the sewage and kind of pull myself into the room, and I think before I'm even pulling myself up, I'm just turning at the sound of Janice's voice and Wallace blabbering, and that's where I see this whole scene, which probably looks even more horrific with Wallace's, dripping sewage everywhere, and
yeah, and well, and now you're seeing this woman with these open eyes, kind of like now just kind of turning slowly on the chain where Wallace sort of knocked into her. Yeah, I'll need your sanity check from you as well.
I got a 74, which is under my sanity number.
So yeah, so you'll take just one.
It's not real. It's not real. Probably not real. It's probably not real.
Even as you sort of begin to turn around, you notice that you see literally body parts on a table. You see partly ground sausage, that's coiled up on a plate next, near the on the counter next to where the hole is. I mean, it's there's a lot. The whole scene is horrific.
I think it's so horrific that my mind just can't process that this is an actual thing that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And it's not impacting. It's not hitting the way it should.
Right. All right, Wallace, you're with Janice now. You've figured out that this hook is through her shoulder.
Mm-hmm. So I again, I'm looking around. I'm just like, oh, Jan, I got to get you down, but have you seen anybody? Has there been anybody in here?
Yes, there's some guy. He's like chopping, and she just kind of shudders. Her, and he's going to come back. Hurry! We got to get out of here.
Jack, and I'll point over to the door. Is that the only door in the room?
Yeah,
just the one. I point to the door and I'm like, Jack, just go listen. Tell me if you hear anything.
Yeah.
And I'll look around. I want to see, is there anything in this room? Do I see any knives? Anything I can cut with?
Oh, there's lots of cutties in here. There's knives. There's bone saws. There's
okay.
Cleavers. You name it. Anything you use to butcher food.
And this hook that she's on, is it like on a chain? Is it on a rope? What is it?
Chain.
On a chain. Okay.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 empty chains around, but the two near you are the two.
Is there any kind of chair or anything that I could move over to under Janice at all?
There's one of those stainless steel sort of rolling stools.
Okay, so I grab that and I'm gonna push that underneath her, and I want her to try to stand up on this. Take the weight off her shoulder. I'll see if I can get that unhooked.
Yeah, well, like I said, her feet are basically a foot off the floor right now, so she's actually not too high up.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is get the weight off of the hook so that I can try to unhook it, or something. So I just want that's
Okay.
why I stand up on that stool to
Maybe I kneel on it if it's
yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Just give me a dexterity check for that.
a dexterity check. Oh no, that's a fail.
Okay. She's weak. Her between the you can tell she's sort of still a little bit out of it, and her hands and legs are still are shaking as she's trying to brace herself on this. You don't think she's going to be able to do this?
All right. So this hook, what's the other end of it hooked? So is it like what's the
It's
chain
basically
around?
it's anchored to there's basically an anchor
Okay.
in the ceiling. The chain is attached to that. Comes down to the stainless steel hook, which is just
Okay. So there's nothing for I can't unhook the other end of this chain then necessarily.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna fireman's carrier then. I'm gonna just try and throw over my shoulder, and I'm gonna just try and yank the hook out.
All right.
Not necessarily yank, but I'm gonna pull on this thing, and I'm kind of frantic about it, but trying to be careful. So there's like this delicate balance of
yeah. Well, there's a couple ways you could do it. You can do it fast and quick, or you can try to do it gently and maybe a little safer. So I'll let you decide if you want to use strength and dexterity to try that. Basically,
I'm gonna use dexterity.
Okay.
And do this. All right, and
well, that's better for Janice.
Yeah, I will. I'll like grab I grab like a knife or something that's nearby, and I'm like bite down on this, babe. This is gonna suck, but we got to get you out of here. So.
It's gonna suck, babe.
I'm gonna.
Oh no.
I'm gonna push this roll.
Okay.
So
now before you get to roll, I get to say the consequences if you fail.
Okay.
You can push the roll, but if you fail, she's basically going to kind of drop back onto it and take a lot more damage. Be like this little sort of dropping.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Dude, don't. Not to be a table captain or anything, but don't frickin' do it. It's a terrible idea.
You got to get me off of this thing.
I'm pushing the roll. And I passed. That's a 66. I have a 75 dexterity. So I just
this long moment. Yeah.
I picture this where it's just like I'm pulling a little bit and I can feel like it's just not working. Mm-hmm. And I take a second and I'll be like, I kind of look over, I reposition my hand, and I'm like, hey Jan. And then I'll just, as she responds to it, I just kind of yank real quick and try to pull it out.
So yeah, it comes out and she and her full weight sort of like falls onto you, and you manage to lower her to the floor. She's having trouble standing at the moment, but she's off the hook.
Makes sense. She's off the hook.
And as you sort of embrace, we cut to the storage shed. Where we find Butterfly and Timmy, who have been holed up in there since Wallace and Jack sort of went to try and find a way out through the sewers. Just to refresh your memory, this is sort of a low sort of cinder block building. It's definitely cleaner than the cell you were in. It's loaded with supplies, including some barrels and boxes, things like that, but also pickaxes and shovels, and rakes, which you have procured a few as makeshift weapons. But you were in there maybe half an hour while they were sort of, you're sort of waiting to see where they would go, what they would be able to find. And you begin to hear voices outside in the courtyard around kind of around there. The door is pretty good, but there's like a half inch of space beneath it. This door does not have a lock on it. It's just a latch. And Yeah. So yeah, and so you can begin to hear voices. You see a little bit of light from like firelight, and you hear people. You begin to hear people talking, like right out in front of where you are.
Yeah, I think Timmy immediately goes to Butterfly. Just, we gotta get out of here. We have to get out of here now.
We gotta go down the. We gotta go down the.
We can't wait for them.
No, no.
Yeah.
Nope. We gotta go get him. Go.
Yep.
And yeah, I zoop right down the hole.
Yeah. I think Timmy too would also, but he would make sure that he is bringing some of those shovels and the pickaxe.
I've had a pickaxe this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I assume I still have it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
bringing down a
Rush
pickaxe.
this right into somebody's freaking skull.
So you each
I'm
grab
ready.
a pickaxe.
Butterfly's ready to kill.
So yeah, so you guys go back down and like into the liquid of the sewer. It's warm compared to the air, which is getting colder. Yeah, temperature's been dropping since it gets pretty cold in the desert at night, even in this climate. And
Butterfly
But,
pukes again.
yeah, it's hard not to at this point. You're just probably dry heaving.
Yeah, there's nothing left in there.
Right. So the this tunnel itself is about 4 feet across. So and the liquid goes up maybe 2.5 feet at this point. So you're just kind of like using that little space at the top of the sewer to keep your face out of the surge at least. You know, the density of it's constantly changing from a thin liquid to a thicker gravy. And which way are you going to go?
Away from, I think Timmy would want to go away from where they came from.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Butterfly's just gonna stick with Timmy.
Yeah.
All right. So you begin making your way down the tunnel, and by the time you reach the end, and you hit a sort of T intersection where it opens up to a slightly bigger tunnel. This is about 5 feet. I will have you both make Constitution checks.
Oh dang. I got an extreme success.
Oh, nice.
I failed.
Okay. Then you begin to some of the stuff sort of, maybe splashes onto your face, and there's just one thing too many, and you start puking and heaving, and I need you to make a sanity check.
Ooh, yeah, that's a pass.
Okay. So you're holding it together, but you're on the verge of freaking out. And I mean, even your nurse constitution can't. This is just one step too far.
Butterfly, ever the nurturer, is like rubbing Timmy's back and like just go, it's okay, get it out.
Better out than in.
We gotta go.
Which way? Which way are we going?
The same way we've been going. I don't know.
Well, you're at
we're
a
at
T intersection at this point.
Yeah.
It's larger. It goes off in like I said, left and right. You can give me listen checks. How about that?
Huh, that sounds good. Let's do that. Oh, that is a fail.
Okay.
Can I push this roll? Timmy just wants to listen for anything. He needs to hear something.
If you fail, you go deaf.
Yeah, you strain too hard. You
Something
pull a
besides
muscle.
the blood
The
rushing in your
weirdest.
ears.
Ah, God.
Oh wow! What would it be for a fail listen roll?
I would think that if you don't mind, just suggesting as maybe he does hear something that isn't there. You know, when you like listen so hard that you
yes.
hallucination.
hear,
Right.
like, yeah.
Right,
And
yeah,
in the
yeah,
tunnels, the echoes.
he'll hear something different. Yeah.
Yep. That's a 32, which is a pass.
Okay. So you hear something from the let's see, you're from where you're facing, it would be your left. You hear a sound of splashing coming down the pipe, kind of slopping and kind of, as the sounds you've been making, and it's moving. It seems to be moving fairly quickly.
Immediately, Timmy faces Butterfly. There's someone coming. There's someone coming.
Oh my god! And I like duck back around like the
Mhm.
corner from where we came from, and I'm ready with my freaking pickaxe.
Yeah, Timmy's the
Okay.
same. He's gonna also just kind of wait, pig's axe ready.
You hear kind of like of the sloshing. All of a sudden, you hear kind of cracking, maybe, and you hear a little bit of clicking, and then you see the face of a figure sort of move out of the tunnel, just kind of showing itself, and you see its teeth sort of clicking together. The face looks as if it's been
It's
you know,
man.
you're thinking in terms of medicine, but it's necrotic. It's all gangrene, moving up through the face, over the brow and forehead. The hair is sort of beginning to fall out. The eyes are white, cataract, and as it reaches out, you see some fingers missing as it sort of grabs the corner, and it begins clicking in again.
Oh god.
And it's kind of drooling out one side, and then it turns its head in your direction, and you can.
How
it's
close
looking-
is
it's
he?
looking
How
very
close
soft.
is he?
5 feet.
I
Both
wanna-
make sense. Both make sanity checks.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how Timmy passed, but
It gets progressively worse.
That's oddly reassuring.
All right. What did you get to me?
I got a 29. So
Oh, you
lower.
succeeded though.
Yeah,
Okay.
succeeded. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, cool. All
And
right.
I
So
failed.
for success, you're okay. For failure, moments. 3 for Butterfly.
Okay.
As this thing kind of like, kind of snaps in your direction with its teeth. It's dressed like, one of these dust billies you've seen. He has like the remnants of a tattoo. There are one of his other arm looks to be sort of withered, very kind of almost desiccated, and it kind of cracks when he moves. And he's he lets out this kind of howl and lunges towards you guys.
Oh god, no.
That's a
What?
that's a pickaxe to the face.
Yeah,
Let's see,
yeah.
which one has the lowest luck?
Oh,
Ooh.
my luck right now is at a 46.
Mine's 41, so I have lower.
Oh, it goes after Timmy.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, Timmy. That's all right. Timmy's
haven't known-
stronger than me. Timmy's stronger than me.
Timmy's going.
I haven't known you long, Timmy. So
A picture butterfly
Sorry.
actually says that. as
Oh,
she walks in.
as it's happening, it's like, oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God. Sorry, Timmy.
Woo! Good luck, Timmy.
Oh
that's canon now. All right.
That's my luck.
So
Ayo.
you could now, in this sort of thing, you can choose to fight back, or you can choose to dodge. In a fight back situation, on a tie, the attacker wins. If you dodge on a tie, the defender wins.
And is there, I'm sorry to interrupt, is there any way
Sure.
I can like aid Timmy?
No,
It's like I
not
want to
for
help him. No, okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right.
But and basically what you're doing, it goes by like if you get a regular hard or extreme success, Like if the zombie it's hard, then you need an extreme
Right.
to win.
Okay.
So,
I do think, I do think that to me, his like reaction, would be I think it would be to fight back. Like just he has it, and so it's more of like a pushing up against him kind of thing.
Okay.
Timmy already killed one guy. Let's not forget.
No, he didn't.
Sorry.
The car did. The car behind them did, not Timmy. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So what kind of roll is that?
It's just so while you're attacking with the pickaxe.
Yes.
So we'll make that a brawl check.
Okay.
So fighting brawl. Yeah.
It says here that my build is +1. Does that mean anything?
No, but you can you'll have your damage bonus.
Which
should be at the bottom right. Yeah. So it attacks, and
I just got it. Just a success. Just regular.
Yeah, it got a regular success as well. So on a tie, it wins because you're fighting back. Unless you want to spend luck.
Oh, yes. Yes. 100%.
That sounds like 100% assurance.
Yeah. So so now you can make that a hard success and beat the regular success. In which case, you get to make your damage attack.
Perfect. That's 6 points. That's going to take for me to get a.
Oh, no brainer. Well done.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Don't die with luck.
Yeah. How much damage would a pickaxe do?
That is a good question. I'm going to say that this is going to do a D10 plus your damage modifier.
Perfect. Okay.
Your damage bonus.
That is 8 for the damage bonus, and then the pickaxe damage, and then the build +1. Do I just add 1?
No. Down, like I said, down at it should be the lower right hand corner. Your character sheet, it should have you a damage bonus if you have one.
Yeah, 1d4.
1d6. Okay, so yeah,
nice.
so you add 1d4 to that.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be 8. Yeah, 8 points of damage.
8 total between two of them. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So you come slamming down into this thing's shoulder, right into the neck, and the point of it sort of comes out to the rib cage as you get it. And it just goes. And it kind of tears and it reaches forward and it tries to grab you. Still trying to, but you're now sort of holding it at pickaxe length, basically. It's kind of grabbing at your hands. Butterfly.
Okay. Well, I see all of this, and I too have a pickaxe. And can I juke around to Timmy's side and just take a frickin' baseball swing at this thing?
It's kind of tight in here. You might be able to squeeze past the this thing and get a swing from behind.
Okay.
If you want to try and
do that.
and
can I
get,
try to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. So give me a dexterity check.
Okay. God bless America. That's a fail.
Okay. Yeah. So you're just trying to get past this thing, and it's flailing around now as it's trying to grab at Timmy, and you just can't get past it.
Yeah. Sorry. Damn it. Nope.
All right.
And I don't feel good about pushing this one either, because I know Timmy's going to get a pickaxe in the eye, and I can't.
Right.
I won't.
Right. So Timmy, you currently have this thing sort of impaled on the edge of your pickaxe. What are you going to do? It's drooling and reaching for you, and it's pretty much pitch dark in here except for a little ambient light coming from one of the sewer grates.
Right. So what Timmy wants to do, because this is such close quarters, is he wants to try to kick, or less of a kick, but more of a push on this guy at the same time as pulling the pickaxe out through his neck, just like like parallel.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, just give me a let's see. This would be a we'll see use brawl.
Okay.
And it will try to
Yeah, that's a
fight back.
that's a fail.
Okay. Well, it failed on its fight too. So it's still trying to swipe at you. You're trying to push it off, but it's stuck on your pickaxe as you're struggling. Butterfly. Oh no, actually it's this thing's turn. He's actually gonna try and he kind of reaches forward and begins to tear his own shoulder blade as he sort of goes and reaches for your throat. Timmy. Again, you can choose to dodge or fight back.
That hurt my shoulder.
All right, it just got a regular success.
Yeah, he's in full fight mode, I think. So this might go. Oh wow, I got an 8.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Which
That's
is
really good.
Oh,
yeah,
Extreme?
extreme. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you managed to drive this pickaxe even deeper and kind of twist it as it tries to push forward towards you, tearing it even more. So yeah, roll your regular damage on that. So the D10 for the pickaxe
Yeah,
and
kill him.
the D4 for your strength.
Perfect. Ooh, that's gonna be 12 points of damage.
oh,
Yeah, you tear it in half essentially. You pull and twist, and knowing anatomy as you do, you put leverage like right against the bones, just kind of and the whole top part of the body just kind of splits apart, and the head, and everything kind of just falls in front of Butterfly. Just splashes in the water and just kicking up a swill of this stuff.
Water.
water.
This goes against everything Timmy has ever stood for, has ever considered himself, I think. And so he's just standing there, eyes wide, jaw dropped and open, and just shaking.
So
The
is
remains of this thing
Butterfly.
just sort of slurp beneath the surface.
Butterfly stands there for a second too, just like jaw agape, and sees that Timmy's having a hard time and like takes his hand and just says, we have to keep going. And kind of starts to pull him like the way that guy came from.
Okay. It's shortly after you begin sort of moving that way that you hear this loud yell of you're not sure what, just kind of like but it's coming from up ahead. Both of you give me listen checks.
Oh, that's an extreme success.
Oh, okay.
Glad that happened on my listening to stuff check.
Yeah, right. Well, you would swear that was Wallace.
Did you hear that? Timmy, did you hear that?
I think Timmy's still absolutely, he hasn't said a word. He hasn't done anything more than you just pulling him.
Okay. So at this point, Butterfly like turns around and like puts a hand on Timmy's cheek and says, Timmy, you need to snap out of it. We have to go. That was Wallace. He's up ahead. We have to meet up with them. We have to go. Wallace.
Janet, we have to go find Janet.
Yes. We have to go now. And
Right.
then I start. Yep.
Yeah, he's kind of, you snapped him out of it, and he begins to follow you a little bit more voluntarily.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you guys begin moving down this tunnel. This tunnel, like I said, is a little bit easier. It's more like 5 feet in diameter, so it's a bit bigger. You don't have to crouch as much. and you can stay a little bit further out of the liquid. It's as you begin moving along quicker, it's not long before you come to a side. You see a side tunnel, and you can just make out some light at the end of the tunnel. It looks kind of flickery, like firelight.
Okay. At this, Butterfly is very like encouraged, not really knowing but there is a literal light at the end of the tunnel. So at least Butterfly picks up her pace a little bit.
Okay. I'm trying to think of timing wise here, where when would be. Well, we'll go back quickly to Wallace and Janice and Jack. So with Janice down, Wallace, you managed to get her off there. Janice, you're feeling you're still feeling the effects of the drugs. The pain in your shoulder is throbbing, and you're pretty sure you're still bleeding from that. But and you're pretty sure that whatever needle they had in you was kind of yanked out when you were pulled out. So you're feeling that sort of pain in your side as well. But you're free, and your legs are starting to get their feeling back. What are you guys doing?
I'm just trying to help her as much as I can. Jen, we gotta go, baby. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Can you stand up?
I'll try.
While Wallace was helping Janice, I had gone over to the door, and initially I took Wallace literally and went over to the door and was just listening. But then I would try the door and try to see if I could crack it just a little bit. If it's locked or unlocked, I don't know.
No, it's unlocked.
So I would crack it a little bit and just see what I can see on the other side.
All right. You see a sort of shallow 8-foot room that extends wider side to side. There's a little bit of light in here from a hanging lamp. Along one wall, you see a wooden bench, and directly across from it, some gray metal lockers, like you might see from an old school or something like that. There's sort of a strong metallic smell, mingled with sweat and maybe some cigarette smoke. And then you see another heavy door in the center of that one.
I would just. I think it's clear. And I'll push the door open a little further, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, this room is empty. It's certainly a lot cleaner than the others, though. Still not wonderful.
I'm gonna.
Jack. What do you see?
Look, it's an open room. Let's go.
Right.
And I'm doing that thing where Jack doesn't know any better. This is a very dangerous situation, so he's unnecessarily low to the ground, like crouching really low, like trying to be really quiet, and gonna move over to that other door. I'm not tiptoeing. I'm not full on Shaggy.
Is he humming the Pink Panther theme to himself?
No, but definitely doing that.
Yeah.
All right. I'll even look back at them like.
Jack, just grab something before. And I just kind of motion at all of the knives and cutlery.
No. Not going. I don't say anything, but I just look at the stuff over there. I look at Wallace and I just give a and I'm not going over there. How many lockers? You said there's some lockers in here.
Yeah, there's a row of like 6 of them. No, there's no currently there's no padlocks on them. Nor are there any kind of names or numbers or anything.
While waiting for Wallace and Janice to come in, I'm just gonna pop a locker real quick.
Okay. You see hanging there is a butcher's apron, some knee-high rubber boots, all stained with blood. Hanging in the back, you see a saw hanging on the back of it with someone's name crudely written on it in pen. And you see a small looks like a double barrel shotgun with a pistol grip, kind of leaning in the back of the thing there. It looks old, and the handle doesn't look original, but
just checking something real quick. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, especially at 23, Jack's the kind of person that's he's gonna grab the shotgun. I was just making sure there wasn't anything in my character that's against his nature. Especially since he would do anything for Janice, and this is all about getting Janice out of here. I'm definitely grabbing the gun.
All right. I assume Jack's never really held a gun before. This thing is heavy. It's
did not expect it to be that heavy.
A big heavy dark grip with some friction tape kind of wrapped around it where it's cracked a little bit. The sight is little more than just a chunk of metal sticking up between the barrels. It's one of those old kind that sort of like, it looks like you have to break it open to get your shells in.
Is it a full-on shotgun or a sawed-off shotgun?
Jack might not necessarily know. It looks pretty short.
Okay. I think I had, because you said saw, and I was hoping you were going to say sawed-off shotgun, and then I just sort of put
and
that
then
in
just so happens.
and that both would have been true, yes. Yeah.
So
what a coinkydink.
Just to emphasize the fact that Jack, obviously understanding what a gun is, does not fully understand guns. Looking at this thing and maybe like, I don't even know how to tell if it's loaded. And sort of kind of, whether Wallace sees this or not, I think I would definitely, not knowing how to tell, would look down in the end of the barrel real quick to see.
Yeah, you come in to see this happening, Wallace. Probably.
So I see him doing that, and I walk over and I just snatch it right out of his hand. And I'm like, "Here, Jack, you take your sister. I'll take the gun." Then I'm gonna inspect it. Are there shells in it? I'm gonna crack the breech on it. Is it?
Yeah.
Shells in it, or
yep. It looks like it has slugs.
Okay.
So big old chunks of lead the size of your thumb.
And any other slugs at all? Any other ammunition around? I'll check the lockers and nothing. So just the 2. Okay.
No, I mean there's a few other things in there. One of them has some pictures on the inside of the door, which you look at, and you see these people in these rooms that are sort of decorated like you might think for a young child's room. There's like unicorn wallpaper and these lights, but one of the pictures shows a woman in a bed. She's covered in a sheet, and she's sort of huddled in the corner, looking at the person taking the picture with this utter look of horror on her face. And the flash from the bulb casts these harsh shadows behind her as you look at this. And there's a series of these, some of them grimmer than that even. And I'll need you to make a sanity check.
Oh, sanity is currently 36, and I rolled a 35. Nope, I'm sorry. Okay, 46. I rolled a 35, so I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
So, it takes a moment for your brain to sort of you quickly connect what this means, and you turn it off quickly. Do you leave the thing open to show them, or
No, I'm gonna slam the door on this and just.
okay?
I'm kind of muttering, cursing under my breath as I walk back over. I would have grabbed a knife from the room when I was in there before. I'm gonna hand that to Janice. And then I'm gonna head back into the room real quick.
Sure.
Stay here. I'll be right back. And I head back in, and I want to grab something that I can put in my belt that I can use later once I'm out of my shotgun shells. And I'm gonna head back in. What? All right. Do we head out this way, or do we go find the others? We can't take Janice back in that sewer, though. Not with that wound on her shoulder. Do we? I don't. What do you, I start to ask Jack what we should do, and then I just kind of.
Jack's just looking at you like, what? Why are you asking me? I'm actually probably not paying super attention to you, as I'm kind of holding Janice, supporting her, and how are you doing? I mean, I know it's, well, no, I don't. I mean, are you okay?
She's still alive.
Yeah, you are. That's good. What we want. We're gonna get you out of here alive.
No, she's still alive.
She who? What?
Her. And she kind of points back to the room, and she looks at Wallace. She's still alive.
You see the woman still hanging by the chain in there next to where Janice had been, missing her legs, like mid-thigh.
All right. Wallace, his head just kind of drops, and I walk over to the woman, and I check for a pulse first.
You get a pulse. It's low. It's shallow. It's weak. But you can hear her. You can see her chest moving, and you hear kind of a little labored. It's a little bit of a wheeze of a breath.
So
as she sort of hangs there.
Her legs are cut off. Like, were they cauterized at all, or is this just like an open wound that's bleeding?
Well, it's hard to tell because of the sort of plastic that she's draped in is only translucent. If you want to look, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a once over, because I need to find out if this is something that is treatable, or if this is a lost cause. Is what I'm kind of looking for.
It looks like her legs were probably. It looks like they might have been fairly recently, within the past week or so, perhaps, surgically amputated.
Okay.
And they're sewn up. They've been patched. It's not pretty. By any stretch of the imagination, but you're not a doctor either, so.
And she's hanging from hooks too.
Yeah, she's very similar to Janice, although hers seems to be like hooked like under the lower rib on the back rather than the shoulder.
The shoulder.
Well, yeah, hers is through the lower back. Janice's was through the shoulder.
The shoulder. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of gently, maybe tap or shake on the chin to see if I can wake her up at all.
She kind of wakes up with a gasp.
Look,
and her eyes are wide as she kind of looks around.
Look, it's okay. I'm an officer of the law. Can we?
Did you find Jimmy?
Who's
They
Jimmy?
took him to the caves. My boy, they took him to the caves.
Okay. How old is Jimmy?
He was 8 years old.
Son of a bitch. Okay,
Tom.
we have.
Tom didn't make it. They got him.
Do you know where these
But
caves are?
he saved Jimmy. I don't know. I just heard him say, this one's for the caves, and something about he's the right age.
All right. Well, look, you're in a bad way here, ma'am. I don't think there's anything I can do to. Well, you're gonna die. Do you want us to try and get you down, help you be more comfortable? What can I do to help you right now? We'll do what we can to find your boy, but this place right fucked, and I don't know what's happening. So
Don't leave me like this. I'd rather not be left like this.
So Wallace is just gonna kind of drop his head, and I just kind of pat her on the shoulder, and I walk over to the door, and I just shut the door.
Okay.
And so I'll go back over to her. I'm like, do you want me to get you down first, or?
She shakes her head.
All right. So, God damn it. So yeah, I'm gonna go find I'm gonna go find a like I want as sharp a knife as I can get. I'm like I want something that's like piercing, not like cutting.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
actually quite a few. When you go to the table,
Okay.
you can see like there's like I said, there's all the implements. You see at the far end there's a there's a small box with a
Okay.
couple of those big old horse syringes in it. There are, like I said, saws and all kinds of things.
All right. So I'm gonna go. I just get something, and I kind of walk over to her, and I put my hand on her shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of tilt my head to hers, and I just, what's your name, ma'am?
Maddie.
All right, Maddie. Well, I'm gonna find your boy. I'm gonna get the people that did this to you and your family. So, and then I'm gonna.
She says, "God bless
you." Yep. And I'm gonna stab her in the heart.
Okay. You won't have to roll for that, but I will have you make a sanity roll.
Yep, I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
22. Thank God.
Okay, so you still got to take 1 for that.
Yep.
And we cut back to Butterfly and Timmy. You are you've come to you found a side tunnel. At this point, we're not doing any more rolls for Constitution and Sanity in the sewer. You've become sort of acclimated to the horror of this at this point, unless something really
as acclimated as one can become.
Right. But you do come to a small, like, little side tunnel, and you're kind of listening. You're not sure, because you're not sure which, Kevin kind of came from this general direction, but you don't know if it came from straight ahead or from down one of these side passages or what.
Mm-hmm. Can we just like listen and see if we hear anything?
Yeah.
Forward.
Give me a listen check.
That's a pass, regular pass.
Okay. You hear the sound of sort of very, very distant, maybe music. Might be the Rolling Stones. It's hard to tell. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. Timmy, are you listening as well?
Yeah, he failed though. He
Oh, okay, yeah.
can't
So
hear anything.
yeah, you don't hear that lovely song.
So I just kind of nod to Timmy and I start going towards the music.
Okay. All right, you begin crawling down the tunnel. This is another slightly smaller one, but it's not nearly as dense in here. In fact, it's you're pretty much down to you have to kind of climb up into this one, and so it's not quite as
good.
deep. And yeah,
Oh, good.
Um,
Good.
and you crawl for some distance before you come to a grate in the floor. As I said, it's only a few feet up, so like you could stand up under the grate,
Oh, nice.
or not quite upright. So it's the grate's maybe 5 feet up.
You can. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But as you get there, you can smell a strong smell of oil, like motor oil kind of smell to it.
Mm.
Some gasoline, some other sort of petroleum odors lingering there. Maybe a faint smell of like rubber, but you can hear the music sort of coming now louder as this sort of radio is playing or something's playing.
I stand and listen for a second. Do I hear voices or footsteps or people working on cars or anything like that?
You don't. You just hear this song. It sounds a little muffled, like it's still like maybe behind a door almost, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay. Because Timmy's stronger than me, I like Timmy, come over here. See if you can pop this up, but not too far, just in case somebody's like there and can see.
So Timmy's gonna have to like kind of either crawl over you, under you, or to the kind of to the side. This is only 3 feet diameter. So
Okay, yeah,
it's gonna be kind of an awkward moment of shifting.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe side. I think that's probably the best scenario for
Most polite.
Yeah.
Closeness is not lost on Butterfly, even in this weird moment.
So yeah, you're able to switch positions, and
right.
And again, you notice it's a similar grate to what was in your cell and in the storage shed.
As he will like try to pop it, but as he's doing so, he just kind of says to Butterfly, "Just I don't think they came through here."
Well, maybe we can get up above and find them there. It's what if we can't be down here anymore? What if there's more of those things?
Yeah, you're right. All right. And he's going to try and pop the top as carefully as he can.
All right. Just give me a strength roll with a bonus die. So basically you're rolling 2 tens dies and 1 ones die.
Okay. Okay. So I take the lower, I assume.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No,
if that's what you want.
If that's what you want, yeah.
That's a maximum success.
Oh, extreme.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
not extreme. The next lower.
Hard success.
Sorry. Hard. There we go. I'm gonna write
that's still really good. So yeah, you managed to put you back into it and just you kind of stand up and shift it up and kind of slide it across the concrete floor of this room. and you immediately see that as you kind of sit back, that stand up to your full height, that you're in the middle of what looks like a garage. The smells, the look, everything is familiar.
Are there any vehicles?
You see, yes, you see three roll up doors. There are 3 repair pits, which so the pits underneath for, the poor man's version of a lift. And there's a back wall with all kinds of tools. You see oxyacetylene torches. You see basically everything you would need to repair and maintain vehicles.
I asked Timmy. I said,
off
"What
to
is
one
it?"
side. Off to one side, you see lights coming from these windows that lead into like a little office space, and the door is closed, but it's from there you hear the music coming, and you can just kind of make out the shape of someone sitting in there with with maybe their feet up on a desk or something, kind of leaning back in a chair, listening to music. There are 2 vehicles in here. One is a big old pickup truck from the maybe about 8 or 9 years old style. There's a big harpoon gun mounted on the top, and next to that is a white Dodge Challenger. It looks in pretty good shape. The has all the wheels. The lines look good. You don't know if it starts, but so you see those 2 vehicles. The Challenger is slightly closer than the pickup.
Okay. So carefully kind of crouching back down to me, just very, very excitedly. There's cars. There's cars up there.
There's cars.
But
Are there any people? Did you see any people?
as far as I can tell, there's maybe one person in an office, but the door's closed.
Okay. Well, what do we should we've got to find Wallace and Janice and Jack first. Right? I mean, we can't just
No, we can't.
No.
But this could be our ticket out
You're right.
when we find them.
So what should we do? Should we stay down here or sneak out above? I don't want to be down here anymore, Timmy.
Gosh, I don't know. No, me neither. Let's get out. Let's see if there's keys.
Okay. And so I guess we climb out,
All
start
right.
looking around.
So you guys climb out and begin making your way toward the vehicles, and we'll take a quick break right here, just a quick bio break, and then we'll get back to that. You guys
Nice.
All
Good
right.
job, team.
All right, yeah, we're gonna take about a 5-10 minute break. We'll be back shortly. Thanks for everybody who's tuned in so far, and stick around.
A drink, he says.
Yeah, and a drink. All right, we'll see you on the other side.
All right, we're back, and let's see. Butterfly and Timmy were about to jack a car or a truck. I guess it's which one are you heading for?
The truck.
Okay,
Yep. Well,
that's certain.
I actually think that Timmy would check the car if Butterfly wanted to go ahead and check the truck, so that we could both kind of check them differently. And
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Agree.
All right, so Timmy, you're going for the car. It's closer, so you get there. The passenger side door is facing you. What are you looking? Are you looking for anything in particular? I mean, it looks, like I said, it looks intact. There's no major parts missing that you can see, but you wouldn't know till you tried to start it.
Yeah, he wants to just look in to the window, and maybe even question. This is probably a really stupid question. Is this are we in a time period before car alarms, or is this like something that
yeah, pretty much.
You think
Okay.
these hillbillies have
Pretty
a
much.
freaking car alarm?
I don't know.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They might.
It
I
was
guess
a
we'll find out.
different world. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, after a fashion, they can.
right. So if that's not something that Timmy would even worry about, then he would actually even try the passenger handle.
Okay. Yeah. It so those little push button ones, and yeah, it goes in and opens.
And he's going to I imagine he's kind of crouching, and he opens it very slowly, and he's going to try and like kind of crawl in, look at the ignition if there's no keys, maybe look in the console to see if there's any keys anywhere.
There's no console. It's a stick shift, and it's just a long bench seat.
Okay. And there's no key in the ignition.
So yeah, you get in, you crawl, and you don't see anything in the ignition, but you suddenly hear something near your right ear. It sounds like a rattle of a rattlesnake.
There's your car alarm.
God.
and as your eyes kind of follow the sound, you see this big, and this is a big rattlesnake. Timmy, I mean, you've gone to college. You're a medical professional. You've gone over biology. You know what a rattlesnake is supposed to be like. The head on this rattlesnake looks like to be nearly the size of your fist, and it's coiled up on the driver's side on the floor, and you see the rattle. It's kind of like toward the back, and the head sort of looking towards you, the tongue in and out.
Yeah. Timmy is going to very, very cautiously, not making any sudden movements, back out of the car.
It strikes.
Oh God.
Do you dodge or fight back?
Dodge. Yep.
Right.
That's what he. Yep.
Don't get bit, Timmy. Oh my God, I can't do this alone.
So what kind of roll would that be for dodge?
Oh, you should have a dodge skill.
Bottom right hand corner.
Yep.
Ah, thank you.
Left.
Oh,
Left. What was it? Left hand, I think. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, left.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh my God. Wow. That is a hard success.
Oh.
Okay, that's good because it got a regular success. So
Wow.
you move and you see these fangs like like needles just kind of like stab into the seat right in front of you, just and it misses you by a fraction of an inch as you jerk back and slide skittering out of the passenger side of this car.
He slides out, and I think without thinking, he's going to slam the passenger door shut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bang.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Butterfly, you've made your way over to the truck, and you're about to reach the handle. I also hear bang right from behind you as the door on the Charger gets slammed shut.
Butterfly cusses under her breath and immediately tries to I guess okay. So where is the office in relation to these two cars? You said
Okay,
the
so
car was
so you're
closer
you're
than the
you're
truck.
right now you're at the passenger side of the truck. Okay,
Okay.
the truck
Yes.
is facing toward the one of the
One of the
roll-up
doors. Yep.
Then there's the did I say Charger? I just meant Challenger. The Challenger, and then there's an empty space, and
And
then
then
there's the office.
that's about exactly what I
Um,
pictured.
Yeah, the office has like one kind of big window. Um, from where you are, you can see that there is um, there's like a big fake wood stereo in there. This guy has his feet up on the desk. His head is down. You see 3 or 4 bottles on the desk. Um, on the back wall, you see a big sort of wooden cabinet with a bunch of keys hanging in it.
Okay. Okay. So Butterfly just kind of goes shit and gets as close as she can to the driver's side door of the Challenger and like
Mhm.
peeks up like to look through the car at the office
Okay.
and see if this guy heard it, which he probably did.
You see him shift a little bit, but he doesn't. Doesn't look like he wakes up. He just kind of shifts and goes back, and his head stays
Oh my god.
down.
So
Suddenly, something
Butterf-
slams into the window in front of your face. Wham! As a snake strikes at the
God.
window. And you see kind of a splash of venom as it hits the other side of the window right in front of your eyes, and you fall back away from it. Give me a sanity check.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh god. Oh, I can't spend luck on this.
Nope.
That's a fail by 2.
Okay, so you're gonna take 1 sanity and you let out a shriek like whatever how the butterfly says when
Yep.
would sound when a snake
Like a
strikes in her face.
squeak.
Yeah.
God dang it.
No, he still doesn't budge. You kind of get the impression maybe the radio's a lot louder in that room because you can
Oh,
hear it pretty well,
okay.
but the door is closed. So yeah.
So Butterfly like lets out this shriek and then immediately like claps her hand over her own mouth, and then when she kind of composes herself, she goes like, "Timmy, come here." And then she tries the passenger side of the truck.
Okay.
Very slowly opening because she just saw a frickin' snake in the other one. So
Yeah. That one opens.
okay.
Is
Is there a rattlesnake in this one?
You don't see one.
Okay, good.
There is a kind of a wooden box with no top on it that's been kind of shoved under the passenger seat. It's kind of half out right now. You see a couple of boxes of bullet shells. You also see a one of those big old syringes sitting in there.
Butterfly rubs the spot on her neck.
Yeah, I mean, and you're looking at this thing now, and it's like it's rusty. The the needle's just sitting in the dirt in there. It's like, yeah, that doesn't feel great. And then of course the strange, kind of pale green liquid in it doesn't make you feel any better either.
Well, is Timmy coming at my behest?
Yes.
Okay.
Timmy
Super.
is kind of crouch running around the car.
So,
See that snake?
yeah, I saw the snake, Timmy. I think we're in the clear from that guy. He seems like he's probably pretty passed out drunk. So, and I pull the box out from underneath and I look in there further. I see bullets. Is there a gun?
There's no gun. They does Butterfly know anything about firearms? Any
I mean,
skill
I mean, she knows enough to pull a trigger. Her dad took her hunting when she was a kid. Rifling, but
Yeah.
it's all the same.
Yeah, I mean, she knows it's a larger caliber, probably either probably like 357 maybe.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
just at a glance.
she takes the syringe out
Hmm.
and holds it out to Timmy and said, "You're the nurse, I guess." and then Butterfly kind of crawls into the car to see if she can find anything else. If are there keys in the ignition? I want to look for
into
all
the
that.
truck. No, there are no
into the
keys
truck.
in there.
Okay.
There's some blood stains on the seat, some broken glass on the floor. It smells of sweat and blood. There's like bloody handprints even on the steering wheel.
So I kind of skitter back out of the truck and I go back to
Mhm.
Timmy and I say, "Well, I think this is a dead end unless we want to go in that office."
I've been thinking, we gotta get those keys. Who knows how far in we are. If we get out, great. They'll just drive down and we won't have they'll just drive us down and we won't have anything to say about it.
Butterfly kind of gets this glint in her eye and says, "Well, what if we take one of these and flatten the tires on the other one? Then we drive out, and what do they drive out in?"
Right, yeah.
Either way, we need the keys, and I'm sure they're in there with him.
Is there Timmy's gonna look at the syringe. Is it empty?
No. It's got about what would be like a good half a syringe full at this point.
So would Timmy think that this would be enough to knock someone out from his? I mean, I guess he doesn't know what's in it, but
yeah, you're not real sure. Yeah, you have no way of knowing.
Yeah, so right.
I mean, yeah, Timmy didn't experience. Was Timmy drugged at any time by this or no?
I think we all were.
I think
it was implied that we all.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so your guess is, yeah. I mean, there should be enough in here to put down several people, if not more.
Okay, all right. So he's gonna look down at the syringe and back. All right. Here's what we do. We'll sneak in. Hopefully he doesn't notice. I'll make sure I'm behind him. You get the keys, and if he moves at all, and he just kind of trails off like he doesn't want to say it.
Yep. And I get it anyway. I just like, okay, well, let's go. And Butterfly at least starts going over towards the office very, very quietly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Timmy follows.
Almost crawling, like crouched so hard that she's like almost like on all fours.
Okay. So, sorry, where headed again?
To the office.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys kind of crouch walk over to the office, and you can hear the music playing. You hear Grand Funk Railroad, we're an American band playing, and you get to the door. You don't see any lock. It's just a standard knob. There's a big pane of glass in the door.
Okay. I put my hand up on the knob and I just kind of give like one last look at Timmy and I like nod and I open it very slowly and carefully.
All right.
And
so it opens easy enough. You get a strong smell of whiskey immediately when the door opens. You get a smell of probably cigar smoke, also very strong.
Thank God for small miracles.
And Iron Butterflies Inagata Davida begins playing.
How ironic.
On the yeah, right.
Great.
Iron butterfly, exactly. Begins playing on the radio as you come in. He still has his head back now. He's just snoring. He's
Butterfly
just laying there.
stops for a half a second and just like looks enraged at this guy, and like you've never seen this look on her face before, like wild, almost just pissed, just furious. And then she kind of like snaps herself out of it and starts to go to I kind of examine the room. Do I see like a key box? Do I see
Yeah, you
keys?
see on the back wall. It's basically just a board with a bunch of hooks in it and
Yep.
keys hanging from it.
All right, yeah.
This guy here, he looks like he's maybe in his late 60s with patchy gray hair, scarred hands, and you notice some burn marks on his face near his eyes. But he's one of the older group people you've seen in this place.
Like these people probably don't live to old age. Like,
but he's wearing no shirt, but just a kind of overalls, the denim overalls, and feet up on the desk, big old dirty boots. And
so
Timmy,
Butterfly, yeah. Sorry,
okay,
go ahead, Tim. No,
sorry,
what is
Timmy,
Tim?
you said you're going to get next to him?
Yeah, Timmy's going to position himself so like even with a syringe just like right up in case he moves at all,
Yeah.
just ready.
Yeah, the syringe basically it's a veterinary syringe, so it's like one of those pistol grips. It's got the
Okay, yeah.
we just kind of squeeze like a squirt gun almost. So you get next to him and get ready. Give me a stealth check.
Both of us or just Timmy?
Just Timmy for the moment. You'll get one as well, but we're gonna do these
I mean,
separately.
you don't have to give me one. Like,
Well, no, he may not. He may be dead.
It's not like I'm feeling neglected or anything. Fuck.
That is surprisingly a success.
Okay, yeah. So you move up quieter than you've ever moved in your life. You get up next to this guy, and you get the needle position like his head is like way back, and so you get it positioned like perfectly right, right where it needs to go. Butterfly, if you'd make a stealth check as well, please. You kind of making your way through this office. There's
Oh God.
some stuff hanging off the desk. You kind of easing your way around the sofa.
Whew, that's a success. Just a normal success.
And you make it over to the key thing. All you see is just a rack of keys of with no markings, no tags, nothing like that.
Okay. Do any of them like? Oh God, I don't know anything. Butterfly doesn't know anything about cars. None of them are labeled or anything like that.
Nope. Give me an idea roll though.
Okay. That's a success.
All right. You do know that truck out there's a Ford, and you do see a few keys with Ford on it.
Okay. So how many keys with Ford on it?
Three.
I grab all three of them.
Okay. So you unhook those quick
and I look at
grab 'em.
Timmy, and I know this isn't a part of the plan, but I just look at him and I mouth the words, "Just do it," and I like point at his neck because I don't want to sneak around here anymore. Just do it. You've already killed 2 people, Timmy.
Iron butterfly indeed.
Being up here and close.
Wow, and that part of the song is on right now.
Timmy and Wallace can go to therapy together later. Well, that's assuming they get out of here.
I don't think Timmy can do it. I don't think he can do it. He looks so conflicted and sad, but he shakes.
Tell you what, make a sanity check.
Okay.
If you fail, you'll probably do it. Like it'd just be too much.
So I got on my sanity.
That's a
That's a
success. Then.
success.
You were close. You were
Yeah.
close. You like you pushed it. It sort of dimpled the skin, and you're like pushing in. It's like, and then you just you wondered if as a nurse you could ever give an injection again if you did this.
Yeah, I imagine that he thinks back to all the times he's done this before, and it's
Yeah.
always been to like help people and to be, good. And maybe this man even reminds him of a patient he had, and just to look at it and knowing
Yeah.
that he just can't do it. And so he just
Right.
looks to Butterfly and just shakes his head.
So you pull the syringe away, and he goes on snoring, his whiskey breath, broken teeth, and sleeps on, not knowing how close he came to death.
Butterfly sneaks over to Timmy and just like gently like puts a hand on Timmy's hand, and I want to take the syringe from him and fucking stick him.
I don't even think Timmy would resist. He would
Okay.
not. Nope, he would
All
give
right.
it to you.
All right. So yeah, you take it from Timmy, and you just gonna stick it into his throat and pull.
Yep.
Squeeze.
I want to go the full load of it.
Okay. So I'm not gonna. I guess I won't make you roll for this. I mean, it's easy enough to do.
He's right there.
Yeah,
He's asleep.
yeah, exactly. And like I said, his head is back, so you just put it right in the soft bit and just plunge it. His eyes open wide suddenly as you pull it, and he kind of grabs his throat, and he's like,
yeah,
kind of grabbing, and he kind of like slides over, knocks the bottles askew, some of them breaking as he kind of grabs onto the table, and he falls to the floor, gasping. And he stops breathing.
Butterfly just stands up and throws the syringe and has the keys in her hand and just looks at Timmy and is just, Timmy, they're bad people. They're really, really bad people.
You can see Timmy has like tears glistening in his eyes as he looks at you, and he just nods. That's all he can do. But he just says, "But that doesn't mean we have to be." And he's going to look at the desk now and see if there's anything on it that's important.
Okay, so you're gonna do that. We're gonna cut back to Wallace, Janice, and Jack. You guys are out in the sort of outer room to this this slaughterhouse that you've made it out of, and you have the door in front of you. This one does have a big deadbolt, but it's got the latch inside, so you can unlock it from this side of the door.
So, oh, go ahead.
I think with Wallace in the other room, as soon as he closed the door to do what he had to do, I would try to open up this other door.
Okay. Yeah. So you turn the bolt and open it up. You see the courtyard, the one that the sort of big open area. You see a statue in the middle of it, facing this big adobe sort of mission style church. Across the way, you see a long building with windows, with some lights within. But most of the light you're seeing is like a firelight, and kind of flickering, kind of over the compound. You don't hear any voices though.
So it would only, by the time he's gone over and opened this door, I think Wallace would have come back through. Wouldn't take him too long. So, but I'm just quietly walking up, and I just kind of like touch Janice on the shoulder to let her know that I'm back with him.
Okay.
I think she looks at you and sees you're alone, and she just kind of, she doesn't say anything, but she kind of questions you with her eyes.
And there's just this kind of glazed, like Wallace looks at Janice and quickly has to look away, like he can't process any kind of interaction other than just survival at this point. So I just maybe just gives a nod, but there's no nothing there.
I think Janice goes to reach out and then kind of stops just short of touching Wallace, knowing that he's not in a good place right now. And I think that at that point she turns back to Jack.
Where do we go from here? We know that it's all desert outside of here, but something tells me that church is not the place to go.
I'd rather take my chances with the desert than stay here any longer.
Right. We out. Whatever way is out, that's the way we gotta go.
I'm looking, kind of staying just inside this door, looking out at this area, and just kind of looking and seeing if there's any sign. I think in my mind, if this, knowing what we know now about this being some kind of compound, I'm looking for just a gate, like an obvious exit.
Okay, so you can stick out a little bit more, and you can kind of lean out into the open the door a little bit more, lean out so you can see more, and off to the your left, you do see a big pair of doors in this place. They look like they've sort of been cobbled together, but they look like they've used big truck axles for hinges. Very sort of makeshift and DIY. There's a little kind of hut next to them, and you see a little bit of light coming from that. But most of the light is coming from, like I said, like a fire. And as you sort of lean out, you see the flicker on the back of your hand. You think it's coming from overhead. This fire. So you kind of lean out and look up. You see the big windmill that's sort of the primary feature of this place. You see the top of it is ablaze, and in the midst of that, you can see a figure that looks like they've been tied to the windmill, and you can just make out sort of the dark, charred remains of the body that's still burning at the top of this windmill upside down.
Oh God.
There's a gate that way. And if I don't see anybody, I'm gonna with Janice kind of
give me a spot hidden.
All right. Spot hidden. Well, let's see. My spot hidden is 25, and I rolled a 62.
Okay. You don't see anyone.
All right.
You don't see anything ever again.
Well, I was just staring up at a burning windmill.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh my
fair
God.
I think it's all clear. I'm gonna help Janice, kind of leaning on her and sort of motion her through the door. We got to go this way and step out, assuming Wallace is gonna follow.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of right behind. I've got my shotgun out.
So you step out into the compound. To your right is probably one of the little huts where you were being kept. There's the church there. There's like a, as you sort of look at it, Wallace, it sort of reminds you of like almost like a military barracks ahead. But it's it's probably the nicest one of the nicest buildings in the compound. It's wood frame. But as you come out, you notice a younger girl. She's probably maybe in her mid to slightly older teens, maybe. And you see her sort of crouching over by the church, kind of looking around, and like see if anyone's watching. She's wearing kind of like a night dress of some kind, and you see she kind of is looking, and she kind of does this low sort of crouching run over to the over toward the statue, kind of running for to get behind there. She's like I said, she looks young, blonde. Her face is a little bit dirty, but and her eyes are wide as she's trying to look. She looks terrified as she's trying to see what's going on around her. But she makes it over to the base of the statue and kind of like is kind of hiding there. She hasn't noticed. She doesn't appear to have noticed you guys yet.
How far are we from this statue?
Let's see, maybe about I don't know, 50 to 60 feet or so.
And it's not in the direction that this like burning windmill thing is, right?
No. It's actually away from it in the other direction.
Okay. I just kind of muttered, God, fuck, and I start just kind of crouch, and start quietly heading over in that direction.
I think right
and I'm like,
before-
hey, trying to get her attention.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing? This way.
And I turn to
she turns and looks and sees you, and she looks afraid at first, but then she seems to make a decision, and she kind of does a little crouching run towards you, and then she kind of gets low in front of you, and kind of seems to be protecting herself.
Okay. And so I'm going to reach out and just kind of like just gently by her shoulder. I'm going to guide her back towards
She flinches away from you. She flinches away from you.
It's okay. It's okay. My name is Wallace. I'm a police officer. What
Janet, are you there? Are you there as well, Janice?
No, I think I stayed with I stayed with Jack.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's hesitant to for you to touch her, and she kind of takes a step back. She clearly looks like she wants help, but
look,
she looks terrified.
We're not with them. And I'll motion back over to Jack, where Jack and Janice are. I'm like, I'm here with my girlfriend and her brother. My girlfriend's hurt. My friends are missing. We're trying to get out of here. If you want to get out, you best come with us.
She starts nodding vigorously.
Just come on. And I make a point to not reach out or anything. And I just kind of gesture with my head, come on, this way. And I'll head back over towards the other two.
Okay. She moves along with you.
Okay. My name. As we get close, I'm like
together, kind of near the door.
My name's Wallace. This is Janice and Jack. What's your name?
She looks at you, and her eyes just wide. She doesn't say anything. But she just kind of trembles.
Were you here with anybody else?
she kind of looks down at the ground so that she's not looking at you, and you see she shakes her head slowly no.
Okay. Do you know where the caves are?
She looks up at you quickly and nods.
Was there a boy there? Little boy,
She
about
kind of
8.
looks off as if thinking, and she nods.
Can you point me to the caves?
She nods and she points, not exactly in the direction of the burning windmill, but kind of off in that direction. And she's clearly pointing like somewhere like outside the compound.
Okay. What was the lady's name that I murdered again?
Maddie.
Maddie. Okay.
Maddie.
How dare you?
I was thinking Mandy for some reason. I had Barry Manilow stuck in my head.
Wow.
So
Wow, you killed her and
As-
you don't
as
even
you
remember
do.
her name. That's like breaking
You know?
up with somebody over text message.
I'm not sane right now. I mean, not
Okay.
very. So I turned to Janice and Jack, and I'm like, that lady back there, her name was Maddie. Her boy's here, and I told her we'd find him. Y'all don't have to go with me, but I can't leave that boy. So let's get this one out of here. See if we can find the other two, but y'all got to get to safety, and I got to see what I can do.
Wallace, no,
All right.
no. You gotta come with us.
Maybe I can't. I told that lady I'd find her boy. If I don't have my word, what do I have?
You're gonna leave us for some stranger's kid?
I'm gonna get y'all out of here, and then I'm gonna find that stranger's kid. Come on. And I just start walking towards the gate.
Okay. So we'll cut back to the garage. You guys have these 3 Ford keys. Where you going to the pickup?
Yeah, Butterfly's
Okay.
obviously not crouching anymore.
Yep.
Goes back out
Sure.
towards the pickup.
I bet it starts really quietly too.
Yeah. That's right. And the God of DeVita is still blaring through the open doorway to the office. No, it's a long song.
Yeah. it's the bathroom break song for
Right.
DJs everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's still blaring.
So I guess I just want to see which one fits, because I assume
Okay.
this is an older vehicle, so like the driver's key also opens the door.
Yeah, in this case, yeah. So yeah, so you try each one in turn, and one fits.
Okay. So
You think I should pop the tires of the?
Yes.
Yeah. So Timmy is going to work on taking like a screwdriver and just popping the tires.
Okay. Yep, no problem. You flatten them all easily enough.
And once he's done, I guess I go over to him and I say, "Now, this is a big truck, and it was real loud when it was out on the road. As soon as we start this, if there's 50 people here, they're all going to be in this garage. So we need to wait, and we need to find the others first. Right?
Yeah, we need to bring him back here, and then we only got one chance."
And Butterfly sees that Timmy is kind of bothered by what happened in the office, and she just says, "Why don't you take these? And that way, when we get out of here, you can drive." Try to lighten the mood.
Yeah, you would see Timmy kind of smile and just like, I still think Wallace would not allow that, even in this situation.
And Butterfly kind of like slaps him on the cheek a little bit and just said, well, he definitely wouldn't allow me. It's a man's world, baby. And starts going over to see if there's like windows she can look out at.
There's
Like, are there windows in the big garage doors?
There's not, but down at the if you look at all three doors, down at the far right hand side, there's a small regular door with a little pane, a little square pane of glass in it.
I want to peek out, please.
Okay. About you actually give me a spot hidden.
Okay, I will. Oh, well, yeah, that's a pass.
Okay. So and in fact, as you get to the little window and look out, you watch the whole scene as you see this little girl come this, or she's not little, she's like I said, she's young, middle teen, kind of maybe 15, 16. She comes running over to the statue, and then you see Wallace come out from the side, because you can't see the others yet, and he coaxes her to go with him.
So like how far away is this ish?
About maybe 70, 80 feet or so.
Oh man. And is it like across like an open space?
Oh yeah, it's just all this is the main, the main compound, kind of courtyard. It's just big, open, flat.
For just a second, Butterfly even gets the knob turned and the door is open. But then she like stops, afraid that like other people might be around. And she like looks like, so she opens the door a little bit, and I want to look around and see if there are any more of these freaking rednecks.
Well, as you sort of peek your head and look out to the right, you can see your little group of friends. You see Jack, Janice, Wallace, and this young girl now.
Nice.
And as you kind of glance up to where the firelight draws your eye, you see what they saw, the charred remains of a figure still burning at the top of this windmill.
Mm-hmm. So I guess 80 feet. Just trying to picture that. So I kind of like, not in a whisper, but not in a shout either. You, hey, and like try to get their attention.
I'll say you're able to, even over the sound of the fire burning, crackling and burning overhead. You guys, Wallace, Janice, and Jackie, you all hear Butterfly go, "Hey!" from a door, one of the buildings, down the other way.
I'm like wildly motioning for them to like come here.
I actually think that Timmy, while he sees that Butterfly has obviously seen them, is so relieved. So he's going to actually just start getting tools. He wants to get that acetylene torch and just like putting them into that truck and just like getting things ready.
Sure.
So when Wallace sees Butterfly like waving us in that direction, like his immediate reaction is just, and I start gesturing towards the gate. I'm like, no.
And I'm making a driving like a steering wheel. And
can you make sure both of your hands are in frame when you're making that motion?
Yes, I do.
For your
yes,
own
I do.
I'm
going all in. I'm going all in. Going for broke. Here we go.
Right.
There's a car in here. Let's go.
So it takes a second, but I think Wallace would figure out what she's gesturing.
Yeah.
And I kind of bug-eyed. I think they got a car.
Well, and you can see and from here you can see garage doors and immediately.
Oh, okay,
clicks.
yeah.
This is. All right.
And I'll start waving, and I'll let them go. I'm keeping the shotgun downrange towards.
All right. What about the girl?
So yeah, I'm waving. I'm gonna wave her. Like just follow Janice. I think we got a car.
She reaches out for your hand.
Oh. So it takes like that floor is Wallace. Like that's just like his like the gun drops, not drops, but like drops down to his side. Um. So and then I just start moving that direction and jogging a little bit and watching over her, watching over my shoulder, making sure nobody's got
Okay,
an eye
yeah,
on us yet.
she's coming behind you. You don't see anyone, and she follows right along with you. You guys make it into the door. Again, you get this the strong smell of oil and gas and solvents and rubber and you know the smells of a garage. The back of the wall is all tools. You know, some of them hanging, some thrown haphazardly. You come in as Timmy's like loading an acetylene torch into the back of the pickup truck. And you Wallace, you obviously recognize Seth's pickup as it's sitting there, and you see them loading it up. You see the 69 Dodge Challenger, 4 flat tires, sitting there.
So I walk in, I'm just like, oh fuck yeah. And I go over, I pop the hood on the Challenger and I yank the cables out.
Okay.
And I just slice them with my knife and toss them.
Yep.
There's no way there.
Easy enough.
Yep.
Easy enough. You kind of glance through the window to your left as you come in, and you see a body on the floor, some broken bottles, you know, and in the God DeVita's still playing.
Of course it is.
He's been in here for 45 minutes.
I checked. It's only a 3-minute song. So
It's a 17-minute song.
they've got a skip on the record player. Yeah.
Inagata DeVita's over 17 minutes long.
Yep.
It hits the end and it skips and goes back to the beginning and starts
Yep.
again.
Right.
He has on a loop. Yeah.
I'm I would be helping Janice into the truck once
Okay.
it's pretty clear that that's our plan.
Yeah, I mean, you can fit 3 of you comfortably in the bench, maybe 4 if you squeeze in. That's gonna be a little harder for the driver, but of course there's the whole back.
Yeah, I'm helping Janice into the truck, but being an Austin, Texas kid, even if he is a stoner, I think getting into the back of the pickup would be a normal thing to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
Like there's no
Effortless.
question. Like
This
just
is the 70s. Come on.
Yeah, it's the 70s in Texas in a pickup. Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
A bag of oily rags was an acceptable Halloween costume.
Right.
So I'm gonna.
Did you go as a bag of oily rags for Halloween one year?
This is so
No.
close to
Who would do that? That's crazy
No,
talk.
shut up.
No.
No, you
Also,
did.
great.
So I'm gonna gesture. I'm gonna gesture for the girl to get up in the cab with Janice. If
Okay,
she'll-
yeah, she quickly hops up in there.
All right.
She actually gets down on the floor and
Okay.
kind of huddles, you know, very much like Newt from Aliens,
Butterfly
which doesn't come out for a
is,
few years, but you get the idea.
Butterfly is over at the door in front of the Ford trying to figure out how to unlock and or open the big
The door actually opens. It just has a chain that you just kind of
Yeah, yeah.
pull,
Okay.
and it just slides
So I'm
up on the
posted
runners.
up by that chain, ready to
Okay.
open her when I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So Janice is in front. The little girl. Who's driving? Or who's planning to drive?
Timmy.
I do think that well, Timmy would look to Wallace instinctually.
So I will. Yeah. So I hand Timmy the shotgun then.
Okay.
Nice work, Timmy. And I'll jump in the front.
All right.
You guys have no idea how good it is to see you all.
I've seen some shit.
Yeah, he calls the shotgun.
Damn right.
You are the nurse.
Yep. So does that mean Jack and Butterfly are planning on being in the back?
Yeah, like
Okay,
pull out a
alright.
half of a car length, and I'll hop in the bed.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little nasty back there. There's a lot of blood, and the
Oh.
there's a big coil of cable with like I said, with the big harpoon gun. The harpoon gun basically you load it by doing this sort of like a winch kind of crank to pull the
Yep.
to pull the big leaf springs to get it loaded. You only see one harpoon though. All right, what's happening then? Wallace,
I start
your
driving.
passengers are loaded up.
So
Okay.
I'm looking at
Like, yep.
Wallace, and I'm like waiting with like the chain for the door,
Mhm.
and
So-
I'm like waiting for your signal, kind of.
Yeah, so I'll nod to Butterfly,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
So it's cranking, and it goes up, slower than you would ever have liked, but
Yep.
but it finally goes up.
Yep.
There's not as much firelight out there now.
And
Yeah.
I hustle back, and I also hop. I've been hitchhiking apparently, and so I also hop pretty effortlessly.
Oh
into
yeah,
the bed of the truck.
yeah. I mean, pickup beds are your second home. You hop on, Wallace. You drive out.
Mm-hmm. I
All right,
head for the
pull out.
gate. So
Yep, you pull out into the
just-
compound and you begin heading through the gate.
Just quickly
you-
before, if you don't mind, Timmy is going to ask the question. We need to destroy this place here, at least one building, something, so that they can't. Well, it'll be harder for them to do this.
Timmy, we'll get back. We'll get back to some town somewhere, and we'll tell him what we saw. But we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here now.
Timmy just wants to show them the acetylene torch and gesture to all the motor oil that is.
Oh!
Light her up. Light her up, Timmy. Light her up.
again,
Don't
that's
count for
exactly what
Timmy.
Butterfly does in the back of the
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Starts going,
Light her up.
Oh!
Did they teach you
No.
that at nursing school?
But I'm like, I kind of like, I noticed Timmy's eyes flit over to the acetylene torch, and I'm like, oh yeah, and and yeah, I just kind of like, I look at Wallace and I just kind of shrug, like, what do you think?
and I just shit. I start driving towards the meat locker room, then where we came from. I'm like,
Okay, so
And
you
I
turn
just-
right.
and I'm like,
That
I
way.
just start pointing at it, and I'm like, that's if we're taking out a building, that's the one we got to do.
All right. So yeah, so you begin pulling up to it. Doesn't take long in the truck. You're
Mhm.
it's not a huge compound.
And I turned to Timmy. I'm like, if I see anything, we got it. We're going.
Right.
Work fast.
Butterfly is trying to figure out the harpoon.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you immediately begin kind of cranking it, and it goes.
Just looking at the mechanism.
I'll
Yeah,
take the
it locks in
shotgun.
place. There's a big old crude chunk of metal you pull to launch it. Not that hard to figure out.
So yeah, Timmy just wants to get out really quick and as fast as he can, just light this acetylene torch.
Mhm. So the tanks themselves is like it's oxyacetylene, so there's an oxygen tank and an acetylene tank. They're both on a big sort of holder with wheels. You've got the lighter for it, the little sparker,
Mm.
and the big long hose that attaches to it with the valves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna like bring this inside, or is the plan?
If yeah, just barely inside. He doesn't want to take too long. He just wants to start whatever he can and hope it
Okay.
stays.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you open the door, drag it inside into the sort of the little kind of preparation room. As you get in, you stand it up, and how are you going to rig this thing?
Oh boy.
Nursing school did not prepare to.
Yeah, I know. He's like,
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
They
in the
do
hospitals,
do-
they do work with oxygen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and,
So he
yeah.
immediately wants to open up the oxygen, like
Mhm.
if he has to like break off the nozzle and open it
Yeah.
up, open up the valve so that it starts like filling this room.
yeah, you just pull off the hoses and then just turn it on and open them up.
Just off the
Yeah.
top of my head, high pressure or temperatures can result in decomposition that can result in fire or explosion in an acetylene canister.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
Just off the top of your head.
Said the insurance adjuster.
Hypothetically.
That was impressive.
Yeah. So then he, yeah, I don't know. He would just make sure that everything is filled up, or just not waste too much time. And then as he's leaving, he's going to, I don't know, ignite something maybe.
Give me an idea.
Oh,
Like that motor
Oh.
oil on fire
Yeah.
but
Yep.
how are you gonna
Yeah.
light it on fire?
with a
I have
shotgun.
Oh.
Butterfly has
he
a
has
lighter.
he has that little
Lighter.
Well, it's got the
flint,
it's got the
sparky
sparker.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the sparker. So he would take some of those like rags and light them, and then
Sure.
throw them in and run.
Okay. So Timmy throws those in and lights it, diving into the pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing, Wallace?
As soon as he's back in the truck, I'm heading for the gate.
All right. So you turn around in the gravel and begin heading for the gate. Behind you, there's an explosion, just because of course it's a 1970s grindhouse movie.
Yes.
So
Oh my
big-
God.
big
There's slow
billowing-
motion for a moment.
Exactly, this big billowing mushroom cloud of fire that belches up. You see the sides of the building kind of just shatter as they go out. Bits of it hitting the truck, chink chink as you go. You see the gates. You can tell instinctively by the way they're set up that they open outward. You see a bar going across it. That's but it looks to be made out of wood or something like that.
Hold on, y'all. I hit.
All right.
I floor it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Give me a drive check.
I like
Yeah, that's
bear hug whatever is welded, like the base of this like harpoon gun thing.
Yeah, it's basically a pipe that's been welded and has a few supports welded
I-
in there.
Bear hug
the-
that
yeah.
pipe.
yeah. That is a success. Just a regular
All right.
success.
Yeah, so you hit the front of this. Now the front of his truck is reinforced anyway, so you hit it and the doors just kind of boom smash open with this loud crash. There's a jolt as you all get thrown forward, and almost the back of the truck kind of kicks up a little bit as you pull out of the gates and head on down this dirt road into darkness. And there's one sort of final secondary explosion behind you. Kind of goes up over the wall of the compound as you drive off into the night. And we'll leave it there for tonight.
Yeah, we won.
We did it. Nothing terrible can happen now.
In that
Oh.
firelight, I just pictured
Yes.
Butterfly looking like Drew Barrymore in Firestarter.
Just staring
With
blankly.
the hair,
Yep.
like
The hair
like,
blowing
going
and the
back a
gleam in the
little
eyes.
bit.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
For sure. Yeah, guys.
I take back everything I said before we went on the air about, this hasn't been too mature the last two sessions. This hasn't been too bad.
Oh,
Cut to an
Yup.
hour and a half later, Dwight saying, what was the name of that lady I murdered?
forgot her name already. Dang.
Not kidding though. I legitimately had Barry Manilow stuck in my head. I was convinced her name was Mandy, and I was like, maybe it wasn't.
Very close. Very close.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
guys.
Well, that was fantastic. Thanks again, Alex. We appreciate what we all, for whatever reason, thought, this will just be a one shot. But we appreciate that you're able to continue to run this for
Having
us.
fun.
basically on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll for those of you that hung out and watched with us live, which of course, thank you to Kelly the Opera Geek, who rated us earlier with 13 viewers. And it looks like a few of them stuck around, though I don't know if they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, right. It's a weird one to come in the middle of.
Kind of depends on where, right where they came in. I mean,
Yeah, I said, hey, thanks for the raid. Now get out while you can.
Right.
This is you do not want to be here. But they brought emotional support chickens. But yeah,
Amazing.
we are definitely going to be talking right away and figure out when we can get our next session scheduled for. A lot of us are pretty busy with gaming schedules, but it looks like the best night is Wednesday nights. So we just got to work around a couple of gaming schedules. But yeah, we'll be sure to follow me on Twitter at MTD_Jake. You can also check out the rest of them. If you follow me, you'll see the notice for this game and see everybody else has been tagged in it, and you can follow them all. Hey, Hot Rod Horror 13, thanks for stopping by. I was on the Nerdarchy channel on Monday promoting Mini Terrain Domain and Jaspers, and that's how Hot Rod Horror, who hung out with us for a while tonight, said they found the channel. So
Thanks, bud.
pretty awesome. Glad you stuck around. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so there'll definitely be some more a part 4 to Highway of Blood coming up in the next month. This video the VOD will be up in the next couple of days on youtube.com/Mini Terrain Domain. Tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you will find myself and M here once again. I will be back in the DM's chair for our Dawnbringers Season 4, Episode 3. Heart of the Nightfang Spire is our Season 4 campaign, or rather, what's happening in Season 4. And then starting on Sunday at noon, from noon to midnight, and running all week long, will be the Jaspers Game Week stream. And it is going to be a blast. 12 hours a day, all kinds of fantastic games coming up, just kicking it off in style, and hoping to raise lots of great money for Jasper's Game Day. And that's what's going to be going on all week. All regular streams are canceled for the week in favor of the Jasper's Game Week, and then Dawnbringers will be back that Thursday to close out the Jasper's Game Week. So huge thank you to everybody who stopped by tonight. We appreciate you as always, and of course a tremendous thank you to first and foremost to Alex, who not only is our keeper for this adventure, but is one of the minds behind this adventure, which is available on Drive-Thru RPG. You can head over to drivethrurpg.com and you can search for Highway of Blood. It is available as a PDF or as a print on demand, I believe.
Super affordable, by the way. I got it on print on demand.
Oh, yeah.
Very good price.
It's a great deal.
Soft and hardcover.
Soft and hardcover.
I got the hardcover because I'm a
yeah.
classy gal.
It's awesome.
Lots of great options, of course. But yeah, so first and foremost, thanks to Alex, but also a huge thank you to Dwight, Karen, Carrie, and M. This is a blast. We love D&D here at Mini Terrain Domain, but this is pretty much my first foray into Call of Cthulhu, and I'm loving it. I hate it in character, but I love it.
Love it.
So that's all we got. We're gonna go ahead and we are gonna end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.